On Wednesday night, 4 Canadian teams will begin their pursuit of the Stanley Cup, and in the East, in Montreal, the Canadiens are going to host their rivals, the Ottawa Senators. I'm joined by Ian McIntyre of the Vancouver Sun and Scott Stinson of the National Post for their thoughts on this series. Scott, let's start with you.
The series, I think, tests the whole theory of momentum going into the playoffs. These teams couldn't be more different. Montreal was excellent at the start of the year and has been a bit flat for the last couple of months. Ottawa, of course, was the complete opposite, where they fired their coach after a bad start and has been the best team in the conference since about sometime in mid-February. So we really see two teams that are not entirely moving in different directions, but Ottawa certainly carries in a lot more momentum, a lot of big wins. They've been playing desperate hockey for some time now. So I think we'll really get to see the test of whether or not having all that momentum carries into a playoff series, or whether Montreal is basically, having known for some time now that they were going to make the playoffs, if they are finally able to sort of turn it on and show themselves to be, I think what everyone assumes is a deeper, stronger team than the Sens. But, you know, it's going to be tough. It's hard to go from the team that kind of knew you were going to get to this point to suddenly turning it on and playing the type of desperate hockey you need to win in the playoffs. Obviously, they have a great goalie in Carey Price and the likely MVP of the league. They've got a guy like PK Subban on defense, and they've got a deadly power play. So they're going to be a big challenge for Ottawa. I just think it'll be interesting to see a team like the Sens, with all that sort of, when working in their favor, go up against a team that, if we had talked about this matchup, 2 months ago, it would have seemed like Canadiens in 5, no problem.
Okay, Ian, what are you thinking about it?
Well, I think in a playoff where there's a lot of questions and a lot of focus on goaltenders, this series has the most fascinating matchup. Andrew Hammond versus Carey Price. A couple of 27-year-old BC boys, by the way, similar career paths. Andrew Hammond's never played a playoff game. Nobody knew who he was until a couple of months ago. Carey Price, probably the best goalie in the NHL. Well, not probably, he is the best goalie in the NHL. And I think the series, to a large degree, is going to come down to that. The teams are very evenly matched. Ottawa scores a little more. Montreal's a little better defensively. Max Pacioretty, huge question mark in this series. I mean, you can't take a 30-plus goal scorer out of a team that doesn't score a whole lot in Montreal and not have it be a factor. I think if Pacioretty plays, that might be the deciding factor, but it's going to be fun to watch the two goalies.
Okay, Ian, so are you picking the Habs to win this?
I am picking the Habs to win, but it's going to be a tough series. I'm going to say 7 games. But if Pacioretty doesn't play, all bets are off.
Scott?
For the longest time, I've been waiting for Andrew Hammond to turn back into a pumpkin, and it just hasn't happened. So I like to think that maybe he can keep this going for at least another series. And I mean, it's just been one save after another at crucial moments in the games. He seems to have this remarkable knack for doing these things. So I think it's going to be the Sens in 7.
Well, I know a lot of people are picking the underdog here to do the upset. It's been a remarkable, historic run for the Ottawa Senators. We'll see what happens. Ian, Scott, thanks for joining me.